Hey guys, today I am filming a video that has been going around YouTube for years. It was popular a while back, died down, and then it's been on my video list to film for the past like 4 months, and the video would be on my most repurchased makeup products. And the reason that I really like these videos is as makeup addicts, we are constantly buying new things. So if we are using things up and repurchasing them multiple times, that must mean that it's something extra special. So these are not all the products that I've repurchased, but these are my favorite products that I have repurchased that I'm using currently. There are other items that I have repurchased tons in the past that I don't really buy anymore for one reason or another. So I'm just going to be talking about the things that I currently have that I've purchased multiple times. So starting with face primer, I use an oil control primer and a pore minimizing primer. I have yet to find my favorite, most perfect oil control primer, but I have found my favorite pore minimizing primer. Now I do still like to try new ones to see if anything is going to be better, but I have yet to find something that I think works as well. And this is the Smashbox PhotoFinish Pore Minimizing Primer. This is just a little deluxe sample size. I have completely used up 2 travel sizes, and then I have this. So I have had this primer 2.5 times. I'm counting this as a half. I have also tried the Benefit Professional and the Makeup Forever Smoothing Primer. While I think those are good, I think this is better. And I'm not exactly sure what it is, but something about the texture of this works perfectly for my large pores and my very oily skin. It fills them so nicely and it just feels very smooth. My foundation goes over top really well. So if you have very oily skin and large pores, I definitely would recommend this. I still am interested in trying others. I definitely want to try the Cover FX Blurring Primer, and that's just me. I'm always going to want to try new things, but I will definitely always go back to this, and this is so far proven to be the best pore minimizing primer out there for me. And for foundation, I'm constantly trying new ones, and I am very, very picky when it comes to foundations. So it is rare that I have a foundation that I love so much that I actually purchase it, but I have 2. And the first foundation, you guys might be able to guess. You guys are probably going to be able to guess a lot of products in this video if you are a frequent watcher of my channel. But the first foundation is the Estée Lauder Double Wear. I have the shade 1W1 Bone, and this right here is my 4th bottle of this foundation. The very first one I purchased from the CCO, and that was the old formula. Now, if you guys ask anybody that works for Estée Lauder, they will tell you that they have not reformulated this foundation, but I can guarantee they have. So the old bottle used to have white writing on it, and now it is blue. So that's how I can visually tell that the bottle is different, but the formula is totally different. First off, the shade 1W1 Bone has probably gotten 2 shades darker than it was in that original bottle, and also it is now less full coverage and less matte. So it's not as good for me as it used to be. The original bottle was perfect. This is not perfect, but it's still the best foundation that I've ever tried. It does have medium buildable to full coverage. It has more of a natural satin finish. The shade is a little too dark for me, but I do have a product I can use to lighten it to make it work. But the reason why I love this shade so much is because it's very, very yellow. It is extremely hard for me to find foundations that match me because I'm very, very fair, but I do have a strong yellow undertone, and that has been very difficult for me to find that shade in a really great long wearing matte formula that is full coverage. So this is definitely the best foundation I've ever tried. It is very expensive, but I think it is incredible. A lot of people say that this foundation looks cakey on their skin. I don't have that problem. It doesn't feel heavy. It doesn't look cakey. It is a very nice, more liquidy consistency without being too runny, but also not too thick. It's an incredible, incredible foundation. And while I want to always try new ones, I do want to always have this in my collection. And out of all the tons of foundations that I've tried, that one is still my #1 favorite. The other foundation that I have repurchased is the Hard Candy Glamoflague foundation in the shade Porcelain specifically. And this is my 3rd bottle of this foundation. I also have the shade Fair that I use by itself. But the reason that I love this is because it is my perfect foundation mixer. Now, I've tried the NYX Pro Foundation Mixer in white, and I know there's a ton of white foundation mixers, but I don't want to try those. This is incredible. So this is very, very fair and yellow in the shade Porcelain, but when you apply it to your skin, it actually looks lighter on the skin than it does in the bottle, which is something very odd. Usually it is the opposite, where it looks lighter in the bottle and shows up darker on your face. So that was kind of odd, but I realized that meant it was the perfect color for me to use as a mixer because it will help lighten my foundation while also making them a little bit more yellow. So I always mix this, just a little bit of this with the Double Wear to make it a little bit light, but then it's also still got that perfect yellow undertone for me. And the reason that I prefer this over any other mixer is because it's a foundation, and this gives medium buildable coverage. It has a natural satin finish, and the texture of this is fantastic. It isn't too runny thin, but it isn't too thick either. I have mixed this with a ton of different foundations, and it works every time. I have yet to find a foundation that I don't think that this will mix with, so I cannot sing the praises of this enough. Now, I do like it as a foundation by itself. I think that the formula is one of the best drugstore foundations that I've tried, but the reason that I have specifically repurchased Porcelain over and over again is because it's a perfect mixer. I usually go through about a bottle a year, and this is $7 from Walmart. And also it gives coverage. With other foundation mixers that I've tried, it doesn't give me more coverage. And really, even if you have a more tan complexion and you're looking for a foundation mixer, of course you can buy any foundation, lighter or darker, but it's something about this formula that I think just works well with any other foundation. For concealer, the one that I have repurchased the most is my MAC Pro Longwear Concealer. I have the shade NC15, and this is my third bottle of this. Now, it usually lasts me like at least a year to go through this because I use this on my blemishes. Now, this is an amazing, amazing formula. It is full coverage. It has more of a satin finish. This works well on blemishes and under eyes. It works when my skin is at its oiliest and when it is at its most dry. I just think that this is an all-around perfect concealer, and the shade NC15 is my best shade match. It is quite fair and yellow, so it's a great, great match for me, and I do love this formula a lot. I really wish that it was a doe foot applicator instead of this little pump. I think I would use it for the under eyes more if it had that doe foot applicator, but this is absolutely incredible. It is my favorite blemish concealer because it covers well, but it doesn't make my acne look dry or cakey. So next we have face powder, and I actually have 3 face powders that I have purchased time and time again that are holy grail to me, and they are all from the drugstore. The first powder is the NYX Stay Matte But Not Flat Powder Foundation. I don't use it as a powder foundation, I use it as a setting powder. I have the shade number 1 Ivory, which is very fair with a yellow undertone. I have purchased this powder more than 5 times, which I think is insane because usually I will always want to try something new, but I don't feel the need to try out new powders because these are absolutely perfect. This gives great coverage, and when it says Stay Matte Not Flat, they're not kidding. This powder has a tiny bit of a sheen to it, so it doesn't look glowy on your skin, but it doesn't look flat and cakey and dry, and especially because it is technically a powder foundation, I think that little bit of glow helps it look more natural, so I absolutely love this. It is a phenomenal formula, giving good coverage and helping to keep me matte, and it is a perfect shade match for me. And my next powder I think works just as well, and it is a little bit cheaper. It is the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless powder. I wear the shade 100 Translucent, which is not actually translucent. It's very fair with a yellow undertone. I wish they wouldn't have named it this, because I think a lot of people are going to be disappointed when they realize, no, it is not translucent. It is a colored face powder. This is incredible. It is also very, very fair with a yellow undertone. It gives great coverage, and it helps keep me matte without looking dry or cakey. I think it is an incredible, incredible powder. And recently I have been buying this one more because it is cheaper, but I have also purchased this more than 5 times. And my last face powder is my Rimmel Stay Matte Pressed Powder in the transparent shade, and this is actually transparent, and this is my holy grail touch-up powder. I've tried a bunch of different touch-up powders and none of them worked perfectly for me. So this soaks up all the oil without making me look dry, but it helps keep me matte for multiple hours, and I just have had a really hard time finding that with other powders, and I wouldn't want to use something like the Maybelline or the NYX to touch up because that's when it's going to get cakey, but this works so freaking well, and I've also purchased this more than 5 times. So those 3 face powders are holy grail to me. I don't feel a need to try any other pressed powders because those are incredible. So for brows, I am always wanting to try new things, but I always have one brow pencil on deck, on backup at all times because I know it's never going to fail me, and that is the NYX Micro Brow Pencil. And I use the shade Taupe, which is the second lightest shade in the range. It is a light cool tone color, and I have also used more than 5 of these. Now, unfortunately, with this kind of micro pencil, they tend to go very quickly. I think that the formula of this is incredible. It is very pigmented, and I think it has a very good consistency that isn't too creamy or too waxy. I'm able to draw onto my brow hair and onto my skin really well, and it lasts well. So this is my #1 brow pencil. I'm thinking I want to try it in the shade Blonde because that's a little bit warmer and see how that looks for my brows, but I haven't done it yet. And I actually have one eyeshadow that I have repurchased multiple times, and that is the Wet n Wild Single in Brûlée. This is one of the very first makeup products that I ever purchased when I started watching YouTube, before I even made a channel. So I started buying this back in like 2010, 2011, somewhere around there. I originally purchased this to highlight my brow bone, and now I use this to set my eyeshadow primer. The formula is incredible. It's an amazing, amazing matte cream that matches my skin tone very well, and I have purchased more than 5 of these. It's a really great shadow, a great color, a great formula, and I absolutely love it and will continue to repurchase it. Even though matte cream should be just so standard, something about that formula is just incredible. And next we have mascara. So there are 3 drugstore mascaras that are holy grail to me that I have purchased several times, and that's saying a lot because I am always wanting to try out new mascaras, and it takes me a while to go through them, but these are 3 that I have repurchased and I will continue to repurchase. The first one is the Maybelline Colossal Cat Eyes. I feel like I never hear anybody talk about this one. It is a wet formula and it is a natural bristle brush. It has this awesome scoop to it, which helps give my lashes some curl, and it also really helps lengthen them, and I have purchased this one 3 times. And next I have the Maybelline Falsies Original Mascara, which has this really awesome fanned out brush that helps fan out my lashes, make them look fluttery, and it also gives a lot of great volume. And I have purchased this mascara 4 times. I love wearing these 2 Maybelline mascaras together to give me the perfect amount of length and volume. And the third mascara that I love so much is the Rimmel Lash Accelerator. This is a very, very wet formula. It is a natural bristle brush, and it has this almost a diamond shape to it. This gives some length, some volume, really black lashes, and I have also purchased this one 3 times. So all of these products I have purchased twice, which might not sound like a ton of times, but for a lip product, and for me, that's actually a lot. That means I loved it enough to completely work through it, which takes a long time, but I loved it so much that I actually decided, okay, I want that again. So the first product is the Revlon SuperLustrous Lipstick in Primrose. This is a beautiful blue tone pink, and it is a wearable version of MAC Snob because it isn't too blue tone. This is so beautiful. It is a cream finish. It is super comfortable on the lips. It doesn't accentuate dry patches, but this isn't the most long wearing, but it's such an easygoing lip product that I love, love, love. In the spring, it's just so easy to toss on. So this is my second tube of this lipstick. And the next item is the Tarte Matte LipSurgence in the shade Exposed. Unfortunately, they did discontinue this range, but they have the Tarte Lippie Lingeries, which I'm pretty sure are the same formula as the Matte LipSurgence, and they have the shade Exposed in that range. So hopefully the shade and the formula will be the same for whenever I use this one up and want to repurchase it again. This is another lip product that I have purchased twice. This is incredible. I love jumbo lip crayons. I feel like nobody talks about them at all anymore. This is incredible. It is very, very pigmented. It is a really comfortable matte finish. It doesn't accentuate dry patches, and it isn't the longest lasting, but I don't care because it's so comfortable. I absolutely love it, and it's a beautiful, beautiful peachy nude for my skin tone. It is very different from Tarte Exposed Blush. That one's more of a mauve nude, and this is more of a peach nude, but this is an incredible lip product that I easily like to wear on its own, or paired with my next item, which is the Buxom Full Lip Polish in Sandy. This is a beautiful peachy nude. It does have that minty scent and tingle, which I absolutely love. This gloss is a tiny bit sticky, but not bad. It just makes the product last a little bit longer. And this is something I do like wearing on its own, but I love it paired over top of that Tarte gloss. And I really love the Buxom lip glosses in general, but I've realized the more that I've gone through my lip product collection that I don't need a ton of colors from the Buxom because they are so sheer, but this is one that I will actually purchase. It is my favorite nude lip gloss. I think it is so stunning. Another really fantastic peach nude that isn't too light, isn't too dark, isn't too peach. And then I have another nude lip product, believe it or not, and this is actually a lip liner. This is the ColourPop Lippie pencil in the shade Aquarius, and I am currently working on my first one in a project pan, but I know it will be finished up very soon, and I'll move on to my second. I don't usually buy backups of lip products, but I know that I'm going to finish it and want it again. It is the perfect nude lip liner. So Aquarius on me looks like a peachy nude. For some people it's more of a pink tone nude, but for me it looks peachy, and I pair it with all of my peachy nude lip products. This is amazing. I love the ColourPop Lippie pencil formula. It is so creamy. It is really easy to line and fill in your lips completely. I don't know if this is the best at keeping your lip products from feathering, but I actually prefer this formula over the Lippie sticks to use as a lip product on its own. Like I said, as a liner, as a lipstick on its own, as a base underneath of a gloss, I think this is incredible. I love the formula, and this is the best nude lip liner I have ever used for the color and the formula. So guys, those are all of my most repurchased makeup products. I would love to know what yours are in the comments down below. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye guys.